Hi, my name is Liana Pomeroy. I have been a residential mortgage lender and real estate investor for over 20 years, and I've specialized in working with investors for that entire time. And I've made some good money in real estate over the years. And so I put together Crew, the collective of real estate women, so that I could share this knowledge with all of you and help other women just like me get into real estate investing. So I hope you're as excited as I am about this. It's been a wonderful journey so far. Real estate has saved my butt numerous times. It's really the only thing I know how to do to make money. I got divorced about 7 years ago, and I have rebuilt my life with real estate. And I now have a retirement, which is really beautiful. So today I'm going to teach you about a few things that I think are really essential for learning how to invest in real estate. I hear a lot of crazy things from people every day. Things like, hey, I need to have X dollars in savings before I can buy something. I have clients call me all the time and they say, this is just not going to work. Maybe in a year or two, maybe 5, when I save more money, when I have 10, 20% down, when I get that raise, and then they never invest. And what happens is every year the market goes up, those deals go by, and someone else made $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $1 million even on the real estate that the person never did because they thought they had to wait. So myth number 1 that I would love to bust is that you have to be so prepared in order to invest in real estate. Yes, you do need to have knowledge. Yes, it's very important that you understand what you're doing. There are so many tools available to help you get into this game. So myth number 1 is that you have to have 20% down or more, or significant savings in order to invest in real estate. It's just not true. You can, if you've never bought a home before, you can buy a home with as little as $1,000 out of pocket. If you have a veteran benefit, if you've been in the armed forces and you have a veteran benefit, you can get a home with no money out of pocket. The company I currently work for has VA construction financing, so you can even build a house from scratch with a construction loan with no money down. And there's a wonderful opportunity that a lot of my clients have taken advantage of, which is if you're a first-time buyer and you want to get into the real estate investing game, you can use an FHA loan, get a gift for the down payment, or get some down payment assistance from either inside a company or a state or local program, and end up putting very little of your own money into the deal, maybe $1,000 out of pocket, and buy a 2-unit with an FHA loan, live in 1 unit and rent the other one out, and use the rents to help you on the other unit to help you qualify to buy that house. That is, a lot of people talk about house hacking these days. That is a really smart house hack. To buy your first home, get a duplex, rent one side out, live in the other. And it could be as simple as an up and down. You could live in the smaller unit, so you're covering more of your mortgage payment. It's a wonderful way to get into your first house. Another way to get into real estate investing without a lot of money is to partner with other people. So I have done a number of different kinds of real estate investing. I own long-term, short-term rentals. I do flips, and I recently started using hard money to do the flip loans. After 20 plus years of real estate investing, putting some real money in the game, what I discovered was that there are tons of people who want to invest with me who don't have the time, the knowledge, and they can be a partner in a flip or in a long-term buy and hold, single family, condo, multi-unit, and they bring the cash. I do the loan. I help manage the construction project, and I end up pulling no money of my own into the deal, and I end up making 30 to 50% of the profit on that deal. So it is very doable to buy a home without much money out of pocket. So please don't wait to invest if that's the thing holding you back. Myth number 2 is that you have to have perfect credit to buy a house. Oh, I've only got a 645 mid FICO score. I'm working on my credit. It's only been 5 years, but I'm still working on my credit. And I really want to buy a house, but I'm waiting till I'm at least a 680, maybe a 700 mid FICO, because someone told me that I have to do that. Maybe your mom or your dad told you that. Maybe a friend of yours invested and had bad credit, and then they had trouble getting a mortgage. And so what you think, oh, I can't do it because my credit's not perfect. I will tell you that yes, you can't have a 400 mid FICO and get a mortgage, but there are creative ways, even with low credit scores, to get into real estate investing. So that's myth number 2, that is just absolutely not a barrier to investing in real estate. If you have bad credit that's under a 620 mid score, you can partner with people and maybe they do the loan, you bring the money, you bring the good opportunity, and you go in together. I have a flip right now with a friend of mine, and I'm not on the mortgage, not because my credit's terrible, but just because we happened to get a deal and I didn't have time to get it together the day that we had to put the offer in. And so I sent over a couple bank statements, she did the loan app, and then we ended up under contract. So in that case, my credit didn't matter. My credit's not bad, but if it were lower and I did that same exact scenario, we would have been fine. Nothing would have changed in that particular investment. So you definitely don't need perfect credit to get into real estate investing. Depending on where your credit is, we can guide you to different kinds of strategies and processes and loan products to make sure that you have a way to get into your investing game. Something else other than partnering with someone, there are some creative financing ways to get into real estate without actually getting a conventional mortgage. So if your FICO is below 620, that's something that I'd be happy to help you learn. Inside CREW, the collective of real estate women, I am teaching, and other experts are teaching the people in our collective how to do creative financing, how to take advantage of the network that we're building and be able to do stuff that on your own you might not be able to do. But when you have a collective, when you have a group of motivated, talented, smart women all getting together to help each other, then you can overcome these kinds of hurdles much easier. Another myth that we've spent years trying to bust open is that you have to use some kind of conventional financing if you want to buy real estate. You don't actually have to do that. I was addicted to regular conventional loans because that's what I knew for over 20 years. But just recently, in the last couple of years, I've started using what's called hard money loans, and they are much more creative with how they're able to put things together. They often need a credit pull, but they don't necessarily need to use your income. You don't always have to provide tax returns. They're really based more on the property than on you as an individual. So if you get into real estate investing, the first thing I'll say is please bust your own myths around how to qualify for a loan. It's a very different process and it opens the door to so much more. So please do not hold back because you're not sure you'd qualify for a regular loan. If you've had a bad experience and talked to a loan officer, maybe a number of them, and been told, nope, sorry, next year, do XYZ, definitely get in touch. Either myself or somebody that I work with will likely be able to come up with a solution for you. Another myth is that something that's been holding a lot of people back lately is rates are up right now. This is the worst possible time to buy a home. I promise you, this is one of the best times in the past 10 years to buy a home because rates are up. And so not as many people are out there trying to buy. And so you can get some phenomenal deals on houses. We like to say in my lending industry, you marry the house, date the rate. Now, that's a little silly because half of my real estate investing is flip loans where I'm only holding it for 2 to 6 months. So I'm really dating the whole situation. I'm just looking for an opportunity to be able to make some money. So if you're using conventional financing and you think a 6.5% rate is bad, you might get a little sticker shock when you start using hard money and other people's money to buy real estate. But those 10 to 15% rates on hard money, they make sense. All you have to do is make sure that the house you're buying and flipping or turning into a long-term rental when you're done rehabbing it has good ROI, that the numbers make sense. So there's a big mindset change. Sorry, there's a big mindset shift when you get into investing in real estate, because you're no longer attached to the payment and the rate, but more interested in what does the overall financial picture look like. To bust that myth wide open, rate is just part of the equation. You don't need to get hung up on what's the interest rate today. Ooh, I wish it was 2.5. I guess I'll just wait till that happens again. Please don't hold your breath and wait for 2.5, 3%. We may never see that again. Investing in real estate is a much more complex game than that. And you can make money when rates are 15%, 20%. It's just a matter of how you're doing the whole investing process. So the rule of thumb when you're doing investment property is that you're looking for property that you can pick up for 70% of the retail amount. So that means that you're likely not buying on the open market if you're buying real estate in this way. And that's something that I can teach you. So another myth that I would love to bust open is that I need to just go on Zillow, on the MLS, and look at what's on the open market to buy a house. And a lot of people right now are saying that there's all that inventory right now. It's crappy, it's overpriced. I don't want to pay that. Guess what? There's a whole other world out there of ways to buy houses at 50, 60, 70% of market rate. And those are the houses that you're going to make money on, even if you have to pay 12% to a hard money lender to get that thing under contract and to rehab it. The other myth that I would love to bust open for all of you new real estate or wannabe real estate investors is that location, that it has to be the perfect house, it has to look a certain way. I can teach you, and the people inside our group can teach you, first of all, how to find a deal. Second, how to analyze the deal and make sure it makes sense. And third, exactly what to do so that you're not overspending. One of the worst things that happens for new investors is that they buy something too expensive, so they pay too much, then they hire a contractor or they get somebody and they over improve and spend too much on the rehab, so that by the time they go to market, there's nothing left in the deal. And I promise you that if you actually do your due diligence, you do your analysis, you learn how to buy right, you learn what to spend money on, what not to spend money on, and then how to negotiate with agents to get that listing so that you're not overpaying for your listing, you will be able to make some money. And this is a really interesting market, because people are scared and there's a lot of crap out there right now, but there are also a lot of buyers who can't find a decent house. And that's where we come in. If you're a real estate investor, you'll learn to love something that's falling apart, or an old grandma house, as I like to call them, right? Something where the systems are in great shape, but from the naked eye, if you're walking in as a buyer, you're not going to want to buy that house. It needs some love. So maybe it has old purple shag carpet and wood paneling. It's a nice brick ranch. All the kitchen and baths need updating, but it's otherwise perfectly fine. The roof's in good shape. There's no settling. The foundation's good. The furnace, hot water heater, fine. The electrical's been updated, right? There are a lot of houses like this that just need the right investor who can see through all that to the diamond in the rough. And that's what CREW, the Collective of Real Estate Women, is actually here for. So that me and all the women that I bring together for this group can help you learn how to see this way and how to make some real money for your life, for your retirement, for your family, so that you can make some money in a very bizarre market. So I hope that this has piqued your interest and that you've learned something today. And I look forward to chatting with you and seeing you inside CREW. Thank you.